8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of 49 Faithfullee. We're your hosts, Miriah Lee and Teran Lewis. TL, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, fam? Doing good. Can't wait to get into this show. I know we have a lot to talk about with all these signings and few disappointments, I guess, if you want to call it. Little sad things that are going on with this roster. But yeah, but I'm excited, so can't wait to get into it.
Yep. I know you haven't really got to talk about anything yet. I feel like I've been already talking about it for 30 days and free agency just officially started like an hour ago. So it's like, I don't even know why they do the tampering period and like all that. It's like they should just start free agency because it's just like free agency had started anyway, right? Like it's so weird, like the way that happens.
Yeah, like you can guarantee a contract, but they can't make it official for like 48 hours, which is dumb to me. Like, yeah.
What's up, chat? Appreciate you guys. Let's see. I don't see JDLR's comment anymore, but I was in the chat spying earlier, and I know that he was the first in the building. So what's up, JDLR, Melissa, Christy? There he is again. JDLR, Alberto, Troy. Good to see you. How you feeling, Troy? Denise, Bryant. Still at the hospital waiting. Okay, keep us posted. Send all my best well wishes, everything for a successful delivery and everything to Tony. Little baby Culp is going to be on the way soon.
It's awesome.
Yep. John V, how are you feeling? John V didn't even show up to his own show. He played hooky on his own show. He did a show with me on Monday and called in sick to his own show on Tuesday.
That's funny.
Crazy. Miss Debbie.
Hey, Miss Deb.
The world traveler, Miss Debbie. How you doing?
Love the photos and the updates on that cruise. That was awesome.
I was living through that.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't even know that Faithful had that Faithful cruise. I was telling Z all about it. I showed her every video that Miss Debbie posted, every picture, and every time that she posted a new one. And, Miss Debbie had said that she didn't have service or whatever, the videos wouldn't post while she was over there. So she updated them all when she got home. So every time one would update, I'm like running in there. Z, look, Miss Debbie, because my wife has met Miss Debbie too.
Oh, so, cool.
I'm running in there. Look, Miss Debbie posted a new video, so I would showing her the pictures. So definitely once I'm rich and famous one day, we're gonna have to be checking out that cruise. Let's see who else we got. Worried we lost way too many players. I'm going to start this because we're definitely going to talk about this, Troy.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw us. It's just been within the last hour, and I know you've probably been busy. But did you get the memo on Demetrius Flanagan-Foles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Steve-O's blocked. I'm blocking Steve-O because I told him until he changes that stupid ass profile picture, he's going to be blocked. She says, y'all better come with me next time. Yeah. How I need to, because I tried to look it up and get info, but obviously, everything was already shut down. So you couldn't find any info on it. So once, if you remember, obviously, you probably have more important shit going on. But once they start putting out info for the next one, if you happen to remember and can tag me in it or send it to me or, if it happens to cross your mind, so I could check it out, that'll be awesome.
Because I feel like there's a lot of fam. Yeah, I thought there's a lot of fam who didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So I can expect the next one to be probably pretty busy and pretty packed. Yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna have to get our tickets early. Yes.
Because I kept seeing everybody say, "Oh, what? Did they do this? Yeah. I didn't know. I'm like, okay, at least I wasn't the only dummy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what? Because I know she talked about it. Ms. Deb talked about it, and there was another, Kendall Joe or whatever her name is,
Joe,
Joe.
yeah.
Yeah, she was like talking about it like months ago, and I'm just like, what, a faithful cruise? But I was thinking like when I heard a faithful cruise, I'm thinking like a bunch of faithful just got together and went on a cruise. Not that the
Oh,
49ers were gonna, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
we got a guest. We have a guest. The one, the only, the pain in my ass,
Why?
Wayne Breezy.
When
My
did I become
brother.
when did I become a pain?
I don't know. You always been
It's all good.
since the day I met you.
What's going on,
How
family?
you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
It's
real
my
good.
Connecticut brother.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I want to tell you, Breezy, and for my birthday this year, my lady bought me tickets to the Michigan Purdue game.
Okay.
So I'll be going to that game. It's a
You
home
going
game
to
too. It's in
the
Ann
big
Arbor.
house?
So
I gotta try, man. And so college football season is tough because that's everything's on a Saturday, and I
yeah,
usually have a wedding. But I'm trying to get to the last game, which is Ohio
yeah,
State. So that I'll give up a wedding for.
yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Breezy, how you been? It's been a while.
I
I
know.
see you everywhere. Like, man, you are everywhere.
I know.
Man,
I'm
busy.
tired. Like I'm freaking exhausted. But you know what? We just got to keep grinding. You know, it's the price we got to pay.
You're still doing weddings and stuff too?
Those should be starting up probably around April,
Mm.
May. Yeah, so then it'll be back to doing that on the weekend. So
Man,
yeah, it's crazy. But yeah,
it's
good to be here.
awesome. It's
It is
awesome.
awesome. It is
It's
awesome.
awesome to see, that to see from you just being on, nothing but Niners, and then okay, I'm gonna branch off, start your own channel from
Yeah,
it being
it's a blessing.
5 little subscribers to, everything that it's come to now. Like it's so awesome to see.
It's
Like I
definitely
love
a
to see it.
blessing. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys for your love and your support. And I'm here to support you. I'm glad you guys are doing it and you're staying strong. Just don't give up. Just keep grinding. That's all it is. Grind. It's
It
never
is a
ending grind.
grind.
Never ending grind.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. I want to get your thoughts on everything. I feel like you've put a what I don't want to say I guess I thought a comment out there, a talking point out there that has got a lot of fans going crazy.
Uh-oh.
And that is
Me?
that yes.
Oh,
Well,
Jesus.
somebody else has been talking about it for a while, but we won't get into that because that
Okay.
person has me nuts already. And then you started talking about it. So this has other fans talking about it.
Okay.
And that is that Trey Lance could be traded. So let's kind of talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, it's I think
I know how you feel. I know your thoughts on it, but I feel like fans have completely taken it the other way, that you want to trade Trey Lance. So that's why I kind of feel like
Yeah.
let's have you
Really?
kind of talk. Yeah.
Well, I wish they would tell me that. Stop being chicken shits and tell me that's how y'all feel. For first of all, I don't want to trade Trey Lance. Let me make that clear right here on your podcast. I do not want to trade Trey Lance. I am rooting for this kid. I'm hoping he gets the opportunity to go out there and compete, because that's what it's going to be. It's not see a lot of people, which is funny to me, because I remember when Trey Lance got here and Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback. You know what it was? It wasn't a competition. How fucking funny was it not a competition when you drafted a kid that everybody wanted to see come out here and play, whether he was ready or not? But Kyle Shanahan made sure and made it clear that it wasn't a competition. Well, Jimmy's gone, and now all of a sudden it's a competition. Why can't it not be a competition? Why can't it just be Trey Lance's job? So it's not me putting out the competition part. Like, that's exactly what it is. And so I'm all for it. Now you went and signed Sam Darnold, which is another young kid that you're bringing in here who had a pretty much a bad stint in the NFL, and he's going to get an opportunity and a shot, if he can come in here and compete, to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. There's not been a clear quarterback 1 starter, clear quarterback 2 starter, or quarterback 3 starter. I haven't heard Kyle Shanahan say anything to that sort. What I want is Trey Lance to be the quarterback 1 starter, and now he has to work even harder at becoming the quarterback 1 starter, which is fine. But my point is, Look at what the 49ers are doing and pay attention to what's really going on. Why would you bring in this kid when you got a Trey Lance? You got a kid that can throw the ball down the field. You got a kid that can escape and get outside the pocket. You got a kid that can probably run whenever you're doing design runs. So what's the purpose of bringing in a Sam Darnold? Why not get a different type of veteran quarterback? No, that's not what we did. We brought in a kid that's under 25, that has some of the skill sets as Trey Lance, that can get the ball down the field, that can break off for 47 and 50-yard runs. And now you really have a competition. To me, Darnold and Lance are a little bit more alike than Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is a different, is what we saw when we had Jimmy Garoppolo. So I don't want to trade Trey Lance, but this is a business. And I'm the only, let me make this clear. Excuse me, I had one of these liquid deaths, and the moment I drink these seltzer waters, bro, the burps come. Let me make this the only way I'm even considering trading Trey Lance is if they give me a deal that blows me out of the water. First round pick here, first conditional second round pick to a first next year. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm making the offer so high. I don't want to trade him. So if I'm the Niners, I'm making the offer really high. I'm not trying to get back pennies. I'm trying to get back a boatload of stuff. And Trey Lance hasn't done much in order to recoup much. Exactly. So I don't really see us trading Trey Lance, but there might be a stupid team out there. We've seen stupid general managers do stupid things, and they might just want to, hey, you know what? You're not going to develop him. You got Brock. How about you give me Trey Lance? I'll give you whatever you're asking for. And if that happens, then you possibly trade Trey Lance. Other than that, Trey Lance got to go out there and put on the big boy pants to compete, because that's what it's going to come down to, man. He's going to have to be accurate, which is what we need him to be anyway. And he's going to have somebody that's coming in here looking to be quarterback one. I don't think Sam Darnold signed this contract to be a quarterback 2 or 3. That's just my personal thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, that's some good talk. And yeah, I pretty much in agreement with you. And let's don't forget, we heard the interview with Trey Lance. He wants a competition.
For sure.
He never once came in on the interview and said, like, oh, it's my job to lose, whatever. He was like, no, the way that Brock Purdy played, I'm glad that there's going to be a competition. And you're right. The thing with Sam Darnold, and a lot of people too. I've heard people, people are turning their backs on Trey and this, and that. But here's the thing about it: Sam Darnold, has all the physical tools to be good in this league. He has the deep ball, the short ball. He You look at him as a quarterback, he's built well. Like, you look at him, he looks like a quarterback. He has the physical tools, just don't know if he has the mental aspect of it right now. He's been through some, the Jazz went with the Panthers. So I'm looking at it like this. You look at Trey Lance, and I've said this on our last show, like, God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now that, and I'm glad that Brock Purdy got his surgery. I want him healthy, so don't take this the wrong way. But when he got hurt, I'm sure that Trey Lance, even though he was probably sad about it, he's looking at it as like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to go in and show them what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like him sitting on the sidelines and watching Brock Purdy helped him a little bit, because it was a different look on how the offense flowed than when Jimmy was out there at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting back like, oh, okay, like, now I know what Kyle Shanahan he's looking for. The simple throws is what I need to work on. We're not worried about the deep ball. It's the intermediate throws with Trey that people have an issue with. So you look at it with Trey, he's like, I don't see Sam Darnold coming in as a bad thing, because if he comes in and excels, I'm happy with that too. All three of us on this panel are pretty close to the same age. We haven't seen a Super Bowl in so long.
Mm-hmm.
We want to win. So if Sam Darnold comes in there, and this is the best roster Sam Darnold's had in his career.
Correct.
Best play caller, best weapons.
Supporting cast, yeah.
So yeah, so he can come in, and who knows, he might change and be like, man, this dude is looking good, because he's never had this kind of play calling and support around him. So if it comes down to it, him and Trey are, and I think we're going to draft a rookie as well. That's my opinion. With 11 picks, I don't think we keep them all, but I do think we address quarterback, because you have to have at least 3 quarterbacks going into camp. You know what I mean? Who can throw.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we bring in a rookie, but I think with Trey and Sam Darnold, you look at it, I'm glad that they're coming in, with a clean slate, I guess you can say, because Brock Purdy's not gonna be able to throw till probably August.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. Let's just say he starts throwing, August, maybe July. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So he comes in.
Yeah.
So
He'll be able to
You
throw
gonna say
it.
something real quick? Yeah,
It'll be like throwing motion, so he's gonna start off with
exactly.
the
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
won't be
He'll
clear for practice till like around probably late August. That's what we're
exactly.
saying. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm just looking at it as a positive thing. And people are, they got people on Twitter talking trash. Oh, he got 4 million. That's starter money. No, it's not. Like, let's just be honest here. You know what I mean? You got people like Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston getting 8 to 10 million. Who, you know what I'm saying? So him getting four is not telling Sam Darnold at all. This team is yours going forward. Kyle
Uh,
Shanahan's been. Go ahead.
I mean, not the guaranteed portion of the money, but the incentives are. And
Yeah,
so in order for him to get those incentives, he has to play. So
exactly.
if I'm playing on an incentive based contract, I don't care who the starting quarterback is. I'm coming in there with the mentality that I'm gonna beat you out. I need to
Oh,
get
for
this.
sure.
I need to get this bank.
Yeah, I think.
So
Yeah.
for Sam, no, his contract isn't one of those type of contracts that these starting quarterbacks are getting. He's also not the type of veteran like a Andy Dalton to, where teams are going to get him in here. He's a bridge quarterback. That's not his role. Like,
Exactly.
to me, Sam Darnold's role is specifically, be ready when I call your number. Like
Exactly.
that's what you know. And I think Collie said something earlier, insurance plan. I think that's the best way you want to look at when you look at Sam Darnold. Okay, you know what? Trey Lance isn't ready to go, or he got injured or whatever. Cool. I got an insurance plan for Trey Lance. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or I got an insurance plan for Brock Purdy. And that's how you want to kind of look at it. I'm not saying I think people are getting misconstrued because I'm not saying Trey Lance doesn't want the competition. But think about it like this, right? My competition was Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
That's my competition. That's my mindset. All right, cool. He did his thing. I got to go out and be better than Brock. Then you bring in
Mhm.
another guy that I wasn't thinking about competing with. So think about that for a second. Is it still competition? Yeah, but it's one thing when you know you're competing against one person, and all of a sudden they
Exactly.
throw you a curveball, and now you got another person that's on your belt that can kind of pull you down. I'm hoping this doesn't do anything to affect Trey Lance mentally. I don't
Mhm.
believe it will,
I don't
but
either. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, look, he has to go out there, compete, and earn his spot, earn that number one spot back. Because if Brock was here, would we had still signed Sam Darnold? Would he had still been the
Mhm.
option? We'll never know.
We'll never know. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And to piggyback off that, I think it's a win-win on both sides. You look at it for Sam Darnold, like I just said. You look at Sam Darnold, he's looking at it, he's probably licking his chops like, man, I got, just name off all the weapons, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, even though he already had McCaffrey, but you know what I'm saying. We've had all these weapons. He's looking at it. Oh, I'm going with Kyle Shanahan, who's known to be a great play caller. So he's seeing it as a fresh start. And like you said, you put these incentive-based contract in my face. I'm looking at it as like, okay, I can get 4 million, but if I can make up to a certain amount, I got my mindset that I'm going to go in there and I'm going to win the starting job. And on the other way, you got the Trey Lance effect, where he's like, I was named the Week 1 starter in 2022. I had the job until I got hurt. So now I have the opportunity again to go out there and show them what I can do, show them that I've improved, I can stay healthy, and the job is mine. So it's a win-win if they both have that mentality of like, man, this is my job. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
And
make y'all
and
mad.
great competition is never a bad thing.
I'm
So
gonna make you
breezy.
mad, right? Check this out, right? With the Trey Lance, well, Trey Lance was deemed the starting quarterback for the 49ers before Jimmy Garoppolo was kind of restructured and
Hmm.
signed to that whatever. When they brought Jimmy back, Jimmy wasn't able to play anyway because he didn't clear practice. So Trey Lance by default was the best quarterback on the thing. It was nobody for him to beat out. Do you think if Jimmy was somewhat healthy that Kyle would have gave Trey Lance the keys to the range? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the competition is cool. I don't think Jimmy was much. The whole Jimmy Trey Lance thing, I wasn't buying that relationship. I thought it was fake. So I
Yeah.
don't think Jimmy was really helping Trey in any kind of way. Even though Trey said he was, I call it bullshit. But I'm just saying, what if Kyle by default made Trey the starting quarterback just because he was better than Nate Sudfeld and he was better than Brock Purdy at the time? And so, like, when you brought in when you signed Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy couldn't practice. Jimmy couldn't do this. He didn't know the playbook or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Trey gets hurt. Jimmy comes in, does his thing, whatever. He gets hurt. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, what about Nate Sudfeld? Look, Nate Sudfeld, I don't know when, I don't even think he was drafted. Like Sam Darnold, in my opinion, is light years better than a Nate Sudfeld. So it's a different level of competition. Nate got beat out by Brock Purdy. Let that
Yeah.
sink in. Like you got beat up by a 7th round pick. So, we could scrap that, but this is going to be great for football. And it's going to be great for the 49ers fans because we're going to really get to see Trey Lance like at his finest because of the level of competition. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe Trey Lance couldn't get better because what was he really competing with Jimmy for? They wouldn't let him compete his rookie year. There was no competition, remember? And then all of a sudden, with the year he was deemed to be the starter, they were supposed to move on from Jimmy. So what has Trey had? Who has Trey had to compete with? This is going to be actually interesting. Like you said, I agree with it. I'm all for the competition, but damn, if Trey can't beat out Sam Darnold, that's tough. That's tough.
What do you think, Miriah?
That's what I've been saying this whole time. I mean, if Trey can't beat out Sam Darnold, like that's a problem.
That's
Baker
tough,
Mayfield walked into the Panthers where Sam Darnold had been the whole offseason and beat him out for the starting job in a week. So I don't know why we would think Sam Darnold can come in here and beat Trey out from a team where Trey Lance has been. Like this is Trey Lance's team. That's like I have seen nothing from Sam Darnold up until this point that would make me think that he can just come in here and beat Trey Lance out of this.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about that is, some people are late bloomers. I mean, look at somebody like a Geno Smith. Everybody thought he was done, and this is now he get to the right situation. He turned into
he's a exception, not the rule.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is this: is like I said, Sam Darnold.
After 1,000 years, we can't just keep using that now as the freaking.
And I'm not. I'm just using this. I'm using it for an example as far as the situation you're in. You look at the Jets, a dumpster fire. Look at Carolina. Yeah, they had Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, but not the play caller that we had, not the type of weapons collectively that we had, and didn't have. I mean, and I want to give more props to Brian Greasy. Brian Greasy being in the building, like he helped out Jimmy a little bit. Like he's the one that selected Brock Purdy, got him into form to where he was doing his thing. So yes, I agree with you guys to a certain extent. Trey Lance should be able to beat out Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold is still young. What was he, like 24, 25 years old? Has all the tools to be good. Like I said, mentally, just I don't know if it's there. All I'm saying is you get Kyle Shanahan, in the film room with him. You got Brian Greasy in the film room with him, and then you have, like I said before, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Christian McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings. I'm just saying that right there will make any quarterback happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, man, this is a fresh start for me.
If all of that shit's supposed to be elevating him, why is not all that stuff elevating Trey Lance to beat him? Like, all that stuff's supposed to be elevating him to beat Trey Lance out? Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Let me tell you why.
All you guys that were so high on Trey Lance now think Sam Darnold's just going to come in and beat him out. Like, it's so easy. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
And I mentioned this when Ty was on the show. It all comes down to situation. I'll tell them this, and I've said this before. What bugs me about the Trey Lance situation is he doesn't get the same playbook as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what bothers me. So if we're seeing the same thing with Sam Darnold getting the same play calling as Jimmy and Brock, and then you're using Trey to run in between the tackles, that's going to piss me off. So now I don't feel like Trey's getting a fair shot. And I mentioned this before.
This is what I've been saying my whole time.
I think if Trey gets the same opportunity as far as play calling, I can see him beating out Sam Darnold.
You can't say,
you know what I'm saying?
You can't, Miriah. You can't sit here and say that we talking out the side of our fucking ass because we're not. I watched Trey Lance run 7 straight fucking runs. I've never seen Sam. I don't give a fuck about Sam Darnold.
We're gonna have to beat him out in training camp, though. What playbook is he going to be running different in fucking training camp?
Any other quarterback do what Trey Lance was asked to do as a starting quarterback.
Point. That's my point.
And that's the difference.
And we don't even know he's going to be giving Sam Darnold a different playbook. Like, you're just making that shit up. Like,
I'm not making shit up. I'm not.
No.
First of all,
and this is training camp. Like, where he's giving him a different playbook in training camp.
What do
No,
you?
we're talking
I
about
don't.
play
I
calling,
don't.
not the
We're talking about
playbook. We're talking about play calling.
We're
So
talking
he's
about.
calling different plays for him in training camp because that's where he's going to have to beat him out at.
It's possibly shit. We don't fucking know. We ain't there.
Mhm.
Like we don't know what he's calling. I thought
Okay.
I don't remember Kyle Shanahan calling fucking run plays up the middle for Trey Lance, and then in the regular season, what the fuck is he doing?
Exactly.
So
That's
we don't
my
know.
issue. That's
So
my
Sam
issue too,
Darnold's
Breezy.
going to come in and beat Trey Lance out in training
This isn't
camp.
even about
with
Sam
different
Darnold
plays.
now, Miriah. This is about the play caller and why we're saying Trey Lance hasn't gotten a fair shot to be a
I
fucking
agree.
quarterback. So
I agree to
why
that.
are we arguing? Like
Because
this,
you guys are saying that Sam Darnold's going to come in
because
and get
he's gonna
different play
get that
calls.
shot, probably, Miriah. He's probably gonna get the shot of being.
You're arguing with me about something that you don't even know is going to happen or not.
Well,
That's
we
the
watched.
crazy thing.
What did Brock Purdy? What did Brock Purdy get? Did Brock Purdy get that shot?
No.
Okay, we saw what happened with Brock Purdy, but we don't know what's going to happen with Sam Darnold.
Did Trey Lance get the shot?
Oh my
God.
God.
I don't remember watching Trey Lance do much of shit other than run and try to set up some type of play action pass.
He ran 13 times a game on average.
So
And
that's all we're saying. Like, and if Trey Lance comes back and he is available and he's able to hit them short pass, he's showing that it's not about him learning the plays, it's more about him being able to execute the plays. There's a big difference. So if Trey Lance is showing that execution, that he's grown in that level, nobody's gonna beat Trey Lance out. I don't even think Brock Purdy will beat Trey Lance out.
I don't think so either.
My issue is Trey Lance struggles in the short passing game, and that is Kyle Shanahan's game. All we want to see is Trey Lance get that ball down the field because we know he could do that. But it takes time to set up those type of plays. So Trey Lance got to hit him with the rinky dinky. And the only thing Trey Lance, in my opinion, here's more where it becomes unfair for Trey. Didn't have Christian McCaffrey. Offensive line was not gelling. Week 1, they was trash.
Didn't have Kittle.
Right? Kittle wasn't there. So give Trey Lance all of those options. Let this kid come out here, operate the offense, the plays that quarterbacks are supposed to run in Kyle Shanahan's offense, and then we can really sit here and have this conversation. But I don't think we see that in training camp. I don't think that's what you're going to see. It won't come down to it's going to come down to who had the best camp and who's going to be starting week 1, and we won't know.
And I think that's my issue too, Breezy. And like I said, you give everybody the same opportunity. I'm giving it to Trey Lance hands down.
Yeah.
I think he's the best quarterback on the roster when it comes to mentally and physically. Everybody's always said that Trey Lance was one of the smartest quarterbacks coming out when he came out. So I'm not worried. So that's what I'm saying is, and I think, and I'm with you, Miriah. I see what you're saying, but all I'm saying is we've shown it's been shown since Kyle's been there. All the play call is not the same depending on who's the quarterback. You look at Jimmy and Brock, same short passing game. This and that. Hardly no runs. You get. The only reason why they run is because of scrambles.
I agree. In game. I agree. In games. Not in training camp, though. We see them do the same shit in training camp. The same shit. They show us the same videos. They're lining up doing the same exact thing.
Yeah. And it's all about who, and here it comes. Who's going to execute? So that's when it comes down to execution, Miriah. Who's executing it?
But they're doing the same exact thing. That's all I'm trying to say. They do the same exact things in training camp.
Who's executing it properly? Now, I don't know how they score or how they judge based off of that. I don't know if they're checking, all right, they all throw the quick slant pass and everybody hits the pass, but who did it the best? I don't know. I don't know how they
This is what I'll ask you. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you both this, because I've always heard the Kyle, he doesn't trust Trey and all this other stuff because of play calling. If Sudfeld, Purdy, Jimmy, and Trey were all running the same thing in training camp, when it comes to week 1, why aren't we seeing the plays called that are in training camp? You know what I'm saying?
Like the coach didn't trust the player,
the short passing game,
the short passing game. But
so
then
that's
why
what I'm
make
saying.
him the starter?
Or
Kyle, why not just change your offense to his strengths? Like that's what I don't figure. That's what flips me out a little bit. It trips me out about Kyle Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're saying, Miriah, no doubt. When we watch training camp, they're gonna run the same drills. Now the question is, Miriah, who's running with offense 1? Who's running with the offense 2? And I'm believing that Trey Lance will be quarterback 1 with the first offense going against the first defense. I'm saying that. I believe it 1,000%. But if Sam Darnold looks really good and that offense too, even though it's against the backups, the B guys, the C guys, or whatever, I mean, it's going to stand out. And so we'll never really know how they're administering or monitoring how well these guys are developing. All I know is Sam Darnold is going to get, if Sam Darnold came into a game, the game plan will look a little different for Sam Darnold.
I agree.
And that's why I'm frustrated, because
Me too.
I'm like, why not let Trey Lance run these plays?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
And here's the thing too, and Mariah's right. When we look at training camp, OTAs, whatever the case may be, everything's the same, is ran the same. So to me, I feel like it's not fair to somebody like Trey when for months you're running the short passing game, all these other certain plays in training camp. Then week one, it's, you know what, I'm changing all that. I'm gonna run you 13 times. How can you get in a rhythm when you're changed from what you were doing in training camp to now week one starts and now things are different? Does that make sense, Breezy?
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
So frustrated. Well, I
Exactly.
mean, look, I'm all for the quarterback that you have and using him in the run game to keep the defense playing 11 on 11. That's why Trey Lance runs the ball, guys. If you don't know that, Kyle Shanahan has been trying to figure out how to make sure that the defenses are playing 11 on 11 football. What does that mean for those that have no idea what the fuck that means? It's simply, I want one guy on one guy. Like, and whoever's going to cover Trey Lance should be able to beat that guy.
Yep.
That's what it means. Opposed to putting 7 to 8 people in the box, taking away the run, and then forcing Trey Lance to make the decision. Remember Jimmy Garoppolo? That's my point. Kyle's trying to get away from that. I feel like Brock Purdy, he struggled with it too. We don't want to say he did, but he definitely struggled in the box. When them people was in the box, he was struggling on his decision making.
I agree.
His throws were inaccurate, and that's the difference. And that's why I love Trey. This is why you got to get this kid in there. The only thing, in my opinion, that should hinder Trey Lance from not starting is a mother-freaking injury. And there better not be an injury. They better not make shit up. And, you know what? I'm getting frustrated because you have no idea. Everybody thinks I don't want Trey Lance to start or blah, blah. Y'all tripping. I just know the NFL. I've been watching this shit for years. And I know that the NFL has agendas, and I understand what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I agree.
Because there's no way that Trey Lance, I don't see any other quarterback in the NFL in a predicament like this. And there's competition. They ain't bringing no competition for Aaron Rodgers. They don't bring in competition. They draft a guy. He ain't going to compete. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Why can't Brock Purdy just be the guy? You sign some type of veteran guy that could come in here and keep a game going or win a game or two. Why are you bringing in another young guy to compete? Doesn't make sense. To me, doesn't make sense. When you got Trey, you should be all in on him, give him all the resources, pumping him up, letting him know he the guy going forward, and then we can. Never mind. What else?
I feel where you're coming from. No, that's a good point.
And I think that's where this all falls back on is, number one, from the very beginning, they have never shown full support in Trey Lance. They have never been like all in on Trey Lance showing you're our guy, right?
Yeah, we have been. They have
been.
Right.
Exactly.
How come we're all in and they're not?
Yeah. We're more all in on our quarterback than the freaking franchise is.
I don't
get
it.
And then number two, when this year, when we're talking about, they're going to go out and get us a veteran quarterback. We're thinking a veteran quarterback, like a veteran, like somebody our age.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, shit. I'm 35 and I'm just playing. But no, she's right. They listen to what they're saying to us. This is why I'm so frustrated, and I do my best to keep my cool. But they told us they was gonna get a veteran. 25 years old ain't no damn veteran. That's not a veteran. It's a 5-year player going into his 6th year. It's not a vet. So they're really good at the wordplay. They're really good at manipulating it and twisting it around. And technically, Sam Darnold is a veteran. He technically is.
He is, yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna go on the tier of the 7 to 8 year vet, like
Like a
a
Mariota or something,
Yeah.
like a
yeah.
Mariota, Andy
Wait,
Dalton.
yeah.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's what I
Um,
thought.
yeah.
last thing on it, and then we'll get off this subject, is where I'm at with it.
Veteran.
My thoughts are, we don't really know, and this comes back to the Brock Purdy injury, is that we're in uncharted territories with this injury. We do not know how he's going to heal up.
Good point.
We do not have never had quarterbacks go through this before. Like, I think one, and that was a million years ago, right? Like,
it was Nick Mullins.
So they don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, God forbid, if he's going to have a setback, or if, something happens, or blah, 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 if he's going to be ready for week 1 or week 4 or week 8 or week 10 or week 16. We don't know. So at least with Sam Darnold, we have a guy that's capable as a quality number 2 guy, if God forbid Brock Purdy is not ready, even all the way through the entire season.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at with it.
And two, and the reason why I was okay with the signing is because we saw the disaster last year.
Oh my God, yes.
I think we would have had a better chance of beating the Eagles if Sam Darnold was a quarterback than Josh Johnson.
I
Let's
don't
be honest
care
here.
who we signed at this point. I like it just needed to not have been Josh Johnson, and I agree with you, Miriah, on this. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he's our practice squad quarterback. Yeah, I just wouldn't be surprised. You know, he costs $5, and he can get in here and he can spell just about every offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so, yeah.
I mean, that man couldn't even take a snap.
It's so weird, yo.
Like, how are you a quarterback for 95 years and you can't even take a snap?
Yeah, that's terrible.
It was weird, man. I'm sure he's not following me. He blocked me. I can't comment on his stuff, but that was
what the hell he did.
I didn't do nothing, but he was terrible. He fucking sucked. Like, look, I'm sorry he got hurt.
He blocked you.
Let me keep a buck. Let me keep it a buck. He came in. He completed his first pass. I was like, oh shit. Okay. It's like, oh, it was a slant. I was like, yo, if he could continue to move this offense, and I promise you, I said this on somebody's show, might have been my show. I promise y'all, Kyle Shanahan thought he could win that game with Josh Johnson. I promise you he did. The defense was... If Kyle could have got a little bit more from if Kyle could have just got his fucking defense, he didn't even get his defense. His defense looked like the defense from the Raiders game.
Yeah, like Swiss cheese. I mean, they were running. I mean, Miles Sanders was running all over us, and yeah. So I agree, man. I agree.
Like, and if I feel like if Kyle felt like he could, if his defense could have been what his defense was, which I think they were just tired, beat up, hurt, whatever. If he could have got that, I think he really felt Josh Johnson could have won that game, helped win that game. All he had to do was come in and be a Trent Dilfer type. The game was still 7-7 until he turned the damn ball over, which made it 14-7. And then gave them the ball back. Then he turned, it was 14-7 because they scored, because they pushed, they ran in. Then he turns the ball over, and then it goes up. I'm like, dang, the 49ers have an opportunity to kick a field goal and only be down by a few points at the halftime, and it just flipped. I don't like to call people trash, but I don't think there's another word for trash, y'all. I'm sorry, Denise. I don't think there's another word for trash.
He was so bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I've never seen nothing like that.
So when we
I think it was Chrissy. It was Chrissy or somebody said he looked scared. I don't think he thought he'd be in that game. Honestly, he was thinking, I'm just going to be the backup, and I'm not saying that's an excuse. You should always be ready. But what I'm saying is, they were probably like, "Hey, bro, you need to get in." And he's like, "What?" Like, you know what I mean? I think he was scared. You know, he was sitting on his couch for the longest time. Then we signed him. Had a couple weeks under his belt, and I was like, okay, I need you to win this game in the NFC Championship. And I don't think and obviously he wasn't up to task.
I just got word that Jadeveon Clowney was cut by the Browns. Why do I have this funny feeling that they're going to add him as depth?
He come to us.
Hey man,
it's curtains, man. The show's over first.
You'll get some sacks. He might not play all 17 games, but you'll get some sacks. So, hey, and the funny thing is, if he gets signed to the 49ers, I owe Mose a huge apology. I'm going to have to probably buy him dinner. because that was the guy he called for. And I'm like, no. My guy went to the Vikings, Davenport. Yannick
I
Ngakoue
saw
is
that.
still free. So I
Yep.
don't know
Yeah. I tweeted the other day. I can't believe that. Doesn't seem like he's been in the league for at least a decade.
Yo,
Ngakoue.
he's
He's only
played for
20.
17 teams,
Yeah.
bro. He's played for half of the NFL. Like,
Yeah. He's only 27 years old. I was shocked when I
he's
saw
like the
that.
Josh Johnson of defense, bro.
except he produces.
Except for
Yeah.
he produces. He's
Yes.
not scared to go into the game.
Yeah. So okay, cool. Well, yeah, I know. I appreciate you, fam, for sticking around for 40 minutes. Us talking about nothing but the quarterback position.
Hey
But
man, listen, that's
I'm
what this
glad
is
that
all
you guys.
about,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. I'm glad
You
that
know,
Yeah.
it's all about, man. I'm glad you guys had me on. Listen, but I got a few more minutes. If I want to talk about some other stuff, let's do it, man.
Let's talk about that DN that we just signed.
Oh, Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about him, so if you guys do,
All right, let's talk
that'd be
about the
great.
All right.
2019 first round pick
Fourth
number
overall.
4. Right. Well, remember when the Raiders, they had a bunch of first round picks, man, and they were just taking a crap shot, right? They were gonna go after and get the best available players on the board. I just don't think that the Raiders were developing defensive players. They just weren't, right? They were trying to figure out their identity. And I think he got lost in the shuffle, same way as Arden Key got lost in the shuffle. When you look at Cleveland Farrell, you ask yourself, what are you going to get? You're going to get a Arden Key type of player, an outside, inside guy, right? Something that they were trying to make Kerry Hyder be this particular year. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to get a guy that can line up outside. That's where he predominantly lines up. He's 6'4", about 265 pounds. Him coming off the edge. He doesn't give you high production in sacks, Miriah and Teran. He's not going to give you high production, but I tell you one thing, he lives in the backfield. Him stopping plays in the backfield is huge. All right, that's something that he does. He had 11 stops in the backfield last year, and his pass rushing rate is what I think it was like at a 10% It's pretty decent. It's not 4% less than what Samson Ebukam did, and Samson Ebukam had 5 sacks last year. So, are you going to get the sack production from Cleveland Farrell? I don't know, but I do know you're going to be able to get that dual versatile role. He can line up inside, he can line up outside, and that's what you want. And possibly him being here is the best place for him because it's Chris Kosirik. And you got Chris Kosirik with this kid. He's getting a younger version of an Arden Key. And remind you, Chris Kosirik took Arden Key out the dumpster, polished him off, got him his contract. Again, Arden Key just got signed again. Yep. Like, this is what Kosirik is doing for these defensive linemen. So I think Cleveland Farrell is going to be a nice, intricate piece. I still think right now, Drake Jackson is your starting defensive end opposite Nick Bosa.
I do too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think with Farrell, I think you said it perfectly. He's just one of those guys who was kind of just lost in the shuffle. He's been considered a bust, but it ain't his fault he was picked number 4 overall because nobody in their mama had him number 4. Like, I was shocked he was picked. I'm like, who? Like, I know who he was. And don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong. He came out of Clemson his final year. He had like 11.5 sacks. Don't get me wrong. Dude was talented, but nobody had him in the top 5. So, the fact that, I can't really say any much more because you hit the nail on the head. He's like a younger version of a Kerry Hyder. Pretty much inside outside guy gonna come in. He don't have the wiggle of like an Arden Key because Arden Key was more athletic than Farrell, but Farrell does have the ability. He's a little bit more of a technician and I can see him. He's pretty much replacing Charles Omenihu in my opinion. He's just gonna come in here. He's gonna play some edge, play some inside when need be, and I can guarantee you, he'll have probably between 5 and 7 sacks or something, and then he'll end up leaving us after a year and getting paid just like everybody else does. And then in 2025 he'll probably be back because he'll sign a 1 year. Yeah, he'll come calling back. So yeah, I mean, it's not a signing that's gonna that's gonna get you excited or anything like that. But it's a depth piece. Like I said, I think he's just a depth piece that came in on a year deal to take the place of a Charles Omenihu.
There it is. That's how I look at it. I mean, can he possibly? He has the skill set. He has the push. He has the get off. He has those things. There's a possibility he could be starting if Drake Jackson takes a little step back. So we'll see. And we're drafting a kid too. So
for sure.
There's some studs that's going to be there rounds 3. Even in round 5, you can get him to be a one-trick pony, come in here and give you some depth off the edge as they develop. So this is a good piece. I think we bring in one more I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kerry Hyder. I just sounds like a 49er type of move. They'll bring him back. And I wouldn't be surprised. So, we'll see what happens, but they definitely got to continue to, bolster up, which is so funny because they're bolstering up the trenches on the defensive side, but everybody wants them to bolster up the trenches on the
On the
offensive
offensive
side.
side.
I just never really felt the offensive side was the problem. I really felt the reason why the 49ers couldn't sustain things was simply because of the defense not being able to stop the run when they needed to, not being able to generate pressure up the middle like they needed to. And God lowers Hargrave signing, that's less double teams on Nick Bosa, which means more holding calls. A, because he got defensive player of the year, and B, now he's going to be single teams. Like, I don't even know if that's a thing, single team. But that's
But
what
we
it's
know
going
what
to
you
be.
mean.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Like it's good. It's a great
Yep.
day to be a 49er fan. And I can't wait to see these guys at OTAs and come out there on the field and start bonding as brothers.
Yeah.
One last question for you, Breezy, and I'll let you get out of here.
Okay, thank you.
As a fan, what player that we lost, like
Ooh,
which
it's a good
one
question. It's a good question.
one hurt the most?
Ooh. It's a good question. I feel okay. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Ward, and I'm gonna tell you why it's Jimmy Ward for me, because Jimmy Ward was a dog. And I don't care where he played, he brought the dog on special teams, he brought the dog at safety, he brought the dog at the nickel spot. I feel like if we took the biggest hit this year in free agency, we lost our nickelback again. So we lost K'Wan Williams a couple 2 years ago, or last year, if that's how you want to look at it. And now we're losing Jimmy Ward, who progressed as a nickelback or a nickel corner in the NFL. Now I believe he signed to Houston. Is that correct? I think he went to Houston with D'Amico Ryans, if I'm not mistaken. But
Jimmy
you
Ward?
lost,
Yeah.
yeah, but you
Yeah.
lost a dog.
He
You know what
is,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, I love Nick Bosa, and he's not a dog. He's not a dog to me. He's a very talented mother sucker. But Jimmy Ward was a dog. So dogs meaning sometimes they do that gritty work.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's what Jimmy Ward did. He was your best tackler out there. And in my opinion, even though Tashawn Gibson rated highest in tackling, but Jimmy Ward was and run defense, but Jimmy Ward was a dog. And so how do you replace that? Hufanga, to me, I love him, but he's not a dog. He's different. He's a different type of something. But you lost the dog. And so how do you replace that? I know a lot of people out there saying Emmanuel Mosley. I get it. But after week 5, I felt like the 49ers knew how to play football. Like they figured it out. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, but they figured out how to play without Mosley. Shout out to Diamador Lenore. He stepped it up big
Yes.
time.
Yep.
So Diamador Lenore is the reason why Mosley didn't get offered a bigger contract.
Absolutely.
So I know a lot of you guys miss Mosley, and he was dope. He was on his way probably being an all-pro corner last year.
Yep.
Unfortunately, blew his ACL. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not think a team was gonna give him that type of a contract coming off of an ACL. And I bet you $100 San Francisco's like, listen, man, we'll give you $3 million, and you can earn up to like $5 million with incentives. And he was just like, what? You know what I'm saying? And he probably moved on. Well, he did move on.
Yep. Breezy, I love you. I appreciate
too.
you more than you know.
Always. Make sure y'all guys are hitting that like button out there, and make sure you guys subscribe to their channel. All right, do that. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Breezy.
Again.
Thanks for coming on.
Try not to make it another 3 years in between.
Hey man, if you want to yell at me more, just invite me on your show.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
You know, that's my brother from another. That's why I even got this flag right here, always representing my family back here. That's how we do. Let me fix us up here because I feel all weird now. We'll get back to his scheduled programming. I appreciate him for joining us. He's a busy man, so anytime he can spend with us is great. I see everybody that joined us in the chat. I appreciate you guys. I can't just, stop my guests from talking to shout you guys out, but I see you all. How about we do a giveaway? And I have some other special giveaways too, since We reached 500. We did do the autographed. We did do the autograph giveaway on Twitter for 500 subscribers. And Pete won. He chose the Fred Warner autograph. So the Elijah Mitchell autograph was still there. So I decided that once we get to 600 subscribers, we'll go ahead and give away the Elijah Mitchell autograph as well. So it'll be on that same post. So if you were entered into the 500 subscriber giveaway, you'll be entered into the 600 subscriber giveaway. And if you're not, it's in my it's in my pinned tweet on Twitter. So all you have to do is post proof that you're subscribed to the channel on there, and then make sure that you're following both of us, and you'll be enrolled. So go ahead and enter your numbers in the chat, 1 through 100.
Watch you, Zay. I hope you're not playing games on here, man. I hope that's for real. Yeah. Do you want me to piggyback off of what you asked Breezy about who we lost and everything?
Sure.
Yeah. You and I has spoken about this previously. You know, I was really hoping that Jimmy Ward would remain a lifetime 49er. You know, all that he's been through the first 3-4 years of his career, he was always hurt. I never forget. I don't know if it was his rookie year or second year. We're playing the Chicago Bears, and Brandon
There's no
Marshall was
breaking news.
absolute. Brandon Marshall was absolutely giving Jimmy Ward the business. Like, he was just embarrassing him. And I was like, man, what's going on? And then we all kept talking, you know, me and a couple guys that worked at Niners fans. I was like, why do the Niners do this? Why do they draft somebody in the first round that was a free safety, that was a ball hawk, and change him into a corner? You know what I mean? And then so, you know, and then he was hurt. And then there was people always like, get this man off my team and this and that. And then he started figuring out and getting it together and staying healthy. Then it was time for free agency. You know, he turned down a higher contract with the Raiders to stay with us. And I was like, you know what? I love this dude. Like, you know, he sits there and he has, you know, his heart is with the 49ers. So I was hoping that, you know, he would sign another like 3-year deal and then maybe call it quits. But I'm happy for him. He's gonna go to a system where he's familiar with, probably stay at free safety, you know. And they got him and Jalen Petrie, I believe, who was a great safety last year for a rookie. So they have a great safety tandem. So I'm sure D'Amico Ryans is happy. And I know he didn't do much this year, going another direction. I'm sad for Alshire as well. Like, you know, we knew after Drake Greenlaw was signed, somebody had to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just shocked that, you know, I'm not shocked. I wasn't shocked, but I thought, you know, for sure he would go to the Texans, but then I always forget that, you know, not Mayhew, whoever his guy's name, no, Rand Carthon went to the Titans.
Yep.
And then, you know, he has his stamp on this team as well, too. So he was probably like, hey, let me go ahead and bring Aziz Al-Shire to my team because I'm familiar with him. So I'm happy for both of them guys. Obviously, happy for everybody that left, but those two were probably the ones who Ward's probably going to hurt the most as far as like the play on the field, in my opinion. But, you know, Aziz Al-Shire, you know, always had high expectations for him. I always thought he did great. You know, 2 seasons ago when Drake Greenlaw was hurt, he stepped in and did an admirable job. So, yeah, I'm sad to see those two go for sure.
Sure. When Fred Warner got hurt, he stepped in, wore the dot, and filled in like we didn't even skip a beat.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I knew that guy was for real.
Yep.
When the heart and soul of this defense can go down, the guy that calls the plays on this defense, that gets this defense lined up, that gets this defense in order, goes down, and somebody can step in, and this defense don't skip a beat.
Yeah.
That's when you know the guy's for real. Let me what are we going to give away? We're giving out some couple stickers, too, from my guy, Inspector Dabbit, on Twitter. He makes a lot of cool 49ers gear. If you're not following him, make sure you do so. So we're going to be giving out these as well. We'll close the show with those. This is his info. Let me see if I can get it to show on here. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, it is.
Let me see if I can turn the light. Hold on.
There we go. There we go. That's perfect right there.
So this is his info. If you guys want to check it out, he makes shirts, stickers. He makes pictures. I have a probably now my freaking shit's all blurry. I have a Trent Williams right here that he made, but you can't see his head. And then I have one coming that I won from him. He does a lot of giveaways too on Twitter. I have another picture coming. What did I won? But I won another Trent Williams, and so he let me pick whichever one I wanted instead. I forget what I had picked though now, so it'll probably be a surprise when it comes, unless I remember. I forget. What the hell did I pick? I don't know now. But I'll show you guys when it comes. It's pretty cool. Make sure you guys check him out if you're not following him. So yeah, we'll close the show with some giveaways from him. What's up, my good peeps? I see you, Paul. Glad you could join us. So yeah, enter your numbers, everybody. Let me check. I think his IG. I don't know. I don't have IG, so but let me see. Give me your thoughts on us finally getting rid of 10 and him being signed and going to be on billboards all over the city that you live in.
You know what? I've always how can I say this? I never really had faith in 10 when it came to the playoff time. He always did good in the regular season, and I wouldn't say good, but he was above average in the regular season. But I always thought, he was always a liability to us, when it came to playoff time. And I've always had arguments with a bunch of people. Oh, you got, he gets too much hate and blah blah blah. I'm just like, every time I bring up the stats, yeah, but we won. But it's like that to me doesn't matter. Like that's why I don't like hearing like, oh, his record is this and his record is that. When it's like I don't feel like wins and losses should be a QB stat. It should be, like a team stat where it's like, okay, this is what the Niners are, in these games, whatever the case may be. So, you know, I don't have any ill feelings for the guy except for the time he told that kid to get the f out of his face when he wanted an autograph. But
Mhm.
other than that, I'm glad he got his bag. I personally believe that they downgraded at quarterback. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion. And then you take away a great weapon in Darren Waller, which I thought was crazy. But that's another conversation. But yeah, I mean, wish him well. I wish him well. I hope he goes out there and he does some great things for him or whatever the case may be. But I'm just glad that I'm personally glad he's off this team. So
Yeah. Do you think like there's some crazy fans, we know that they've been coined the term Jimmy sexuals. We had one visit us last show for the first time, named 49ers Cast. Do you think he'll change his name now to Raiders Cast? Because we know that he also lives in Las Vegas.
yeah.
So,
Probably not. I mean, he's probably. I'm sure he's more, of a. I mean, well, at least I think he's more of a 49ers fan than he is a Jimmy fan. But I feel like when it comes to this team, like I've heard people, which drives me nuts. It's like, oh, Jimmy should get a better farewell, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, what about Jimmy Ward? Like nobody says nothing about, oh, he should get a
they've
better.
been here forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
That was
like
drafted here.
and I get it. Like I said this before, when he came to us in 2017 in October, and we won that 5-0 stretch, I gave him all the props in the world. I was like, man, we finally did it. I was thinking John Lynch. I was thinking Kyle. Man, we finally got us a quarterback who can win us some games. I was like, man. And then 2018 happened, tore his ACL with like week 3 or something like that, week 2, week 3 against Kansas City. And I'm just like, man. And I was kind of down in the dumps. And then 2019
Yeah, that
comes.
sucked.
Yeah, then 2019 comes, we go to the Super Bowl, we lose. And I was still giving him his respect. Still giving him his respect. Then I had friends of mine, we need to get rid of him. He's not it. He can only do this, that he's limited. And I went to bat for him. oh, just give him an opportunity. Like, he's that, just give him a chance and blah, blah, blah. Then 2020 against Arizona, I think it was week 1 or 2, when I saw that he was limited and not being able to throw uh accurate outside the numbers and didn't have the deep ball and stuff like that. Then I saw it for myself. So even though from 2020 until now I wasn't riding for him, 2017 to 2020 I was riding for him. Like I really wanted him to do good and be
Mm-hmm.
that guy. So, it's not a hate on him. I saw his limitations, and I just hate that people kept their heads in his lap for stuff that he didn't even do. Like, and I love to bring this up. Like, the 49ers, when you tell people that the run game and the defense carried this franchise, people get pissed off. Oh, that sucks. Like Jimmy this, Jimmy that. I'm just like, we are 10, what was it, 10-2 when Jimmy doesn't even throw a touchdown pass. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
quick, we're not trying to hate on Jimmy. We're just, he's barely just got put, it's put on a team that's in our city this week. Like this is our last farewell to Jimmy. So this show is taking place in Las Vegas, where the Raiders are. This is a platform in this city. So, this is TL's first time talking on this subject.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk on it.
So anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Sorry,
but anyway, no, it's okay. Anyway, when I bring up, facts, it's, oh, you're a hater. But I'm just like, no, he was, in 7 playoff games, he throws 6 interceptions, and the 1 interception he didn't throw, the game he didn't throw an interception when he threw 8 passes. So that's not hating, that's a fact. When he played Green Bay, he threw 8 passes, he didn't throw an interception. How is that a hate? That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I wish him well. I hope he does his thing, and I'm just glad that, and it's what's sad about this. I'm after this show, I'm done talking about him, whatever the case may be. But even though he's gone, he's still going to be a subject of conversation. Oh, we should have kept Jimmy instead of Darnold, and blah blah blah. Like it's going to be ongoing until we have somebody who can stay consistent and win us a Super Bowl, I believe. But that's all I have to say about that. Good for him. Get your bag, but I'm glad that you're not on the 49ers anymore.
Yeah. Real quick, K Willie, I appreciate you migrating over to my channel from Betos. Thank you. And I seen Christy just bring it up. So we're not showing it on all 3 channels at the same time anymore. We're rotating. So every Monday it'll be on the next channel. So,
oops, I don't know what happened. Yeah.
So next Monday it'll be on Ryan's channel. The following Monday it'll be on this channel. The following Monday on Beto's channel. So that's how that'll be. So this past Monday it was on Beto's channel.
Yeah. Can I answer the question real quick for Alberto Soto? He's asked us 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So where's he at here? Okay. Can Sam beat out Purdy? People are talking about Sam beating out Trey. What about Purdy? I don't think that. I think when it comes down to it, and this is my opinion, if all quarterbacks are healthy and all of them get the same opportunity as far as play calling, I think Trey's the most talented quarterback on this team, period. I think when it comes down to it, it would be Trey, Brock,
Tuesday.
and then Darnold. Yeah, Trey, then Brock, and then Sam. That's how I picture it going into the season. I know that Brock, they said he's going to be 100% in September, which will be like right around the start of the season, but he won't have like the first team reps and all this other stuff.
Again, we really have no clue how it's going to freaking be.
Yeah, we don't know how it's going to be. We have no clue. We don't know what it's going to look like. I'm just going off of games, and what me and Breezy were saying, earlier. I just get tired, and that's just me personally. I can't speak for Miriah, can't speak for anybody in the chat. I get tired of not seeing Trey get the same play calling. If he gets it in training camp, fine, but why change it up when it comes to week 1? Like if you let me run a certain offense all year, all preseason, all training camp, then week 1, week 2 starts, and it's okay, forget the play calling I gave you in training camp. I want you to run up the middle. And I don't like that. Give me Trey, give him the same play calling, not playbook, play calling as Jimmy and Brock, and I like his chances. I think, and I'll say this again, I think it could be shaky at first, but I don't know. I think that when I heard Trey, and I think Miriah agreed, and so did Denise. I feel like Trey's interview, he just sounds different to me. The confidence level was there, and I just think that Trey's the most talented quarterback. So no, I don't think that Sam can beat out Purdy, and I don't think he could beat out Trey either. So like I said, QB1 to me is Trey, if healthy, with an opportunity, then Brock Purdy, and then Sam Darnold. That's how I see it.
Everybody have your numbers in. We're going to do a giveaway for speaking of Trey Lance, QB1. Let's make sure you have your numbers in. And yeah, the show is on Tuesdays. Hey, Gina. What's up, girl? We're about to do a Trey Lance giveaway. I don't know if you want to scroll up and take a look.
I think Gina. Who was first? Was it Christy? I think
Yeah,
Christy was number one.
I think the number started with Christy somewhere up there.
Hey, Steve-O, I appreciate your comments, but I don't appreciate you telling me what I should talk about on our show. If I want to talk about Trey and the different play calling, that's what I'm going to talk about. So if you don't see a difference with Brock Purdy being in the game or Jimmy and Trey, then I'm sorry. Trey made the wrong read when. I don't know what you're talking about. But to sit there and say stop with the Trey as play calling BS, I don't agree with that. So,
and I don't know what this is. If Karen not blocked, adding Bears not to sign 69, Miriah won't block me. I don't know who the hell Karen is. And if you're trying to test me that I won't block you, your ass will get blocked. You're really on thin fucking ice, let me tell you. I don't know who the hell you think you're fucking talking about, Karen. But your ass will fucking get blocked. All right, we're going to draw this giveaway. And then we will get on to some of our other signings. And we have some other giveaways to do as well for our chat that doesn't get on our nerves like Steve-O. He thinks he's a troll for a living, but he ain't fucking getting paid for it. He's going to get blocked out of here. Hey, girl. How's that cheesecake? How's that Caesar salad?
She ain't eating neither one of them. That's hilarious.
I hate that Caesars.
What's the number here?
Oh, boy.
Ooh. Oh, wow. 10. That's hilarious.
10 so that we can talk about Garoppolo again.
That's comedy.
Okay. It's funny that he has Garoppolo as his picture, yet doesn't want people to talk about him. Yeah, Nick loves Jimmy, so he wants us to talk about him. Hey, Nick, I appreciate you being here.
Well, I don't know if Steve Supremo, if he was saying 10 or not, but I don't know what this means.
He said buy 10.
10 team? I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, he ain't fucking getting shit, so.
Let me see. Joel got 16.
Fucking blocked. That's all he's getting.
Watches Zay got 14. Let me see who else.
What you say? That's what the ring reminds me of. You remember that song? What you say?
Okay, I'm keeping scrolling. They're kind of far apart, the numbers.
Yeah.
But, 3. Yeah, it looks like 14 is the closest.
All right. Let me find it so I can click it up there. Where you at? Where you at? There it is.
Yeah.
Congrats. I know, Peachy. How ironic. That song, I know. It always gets stuck in your head. That's why it drove me crazy. Not this video. Hold on. How do you spell that? What? Tuesday.
What you say? Yeah. My Lisette posted, I haven't had it since the Caesar salad, and she
Oh
ain't
my
lying
god.
either. She will not eat it.
I ruined it.
Hmm.
I saved you.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. She saved you from eating more anchovies.
What's Bryant yelling at? Hey, Bobby. Think it's the first time seeing you here. Welcome. Appreciate you stopping through. All right, so let's talk about the big. Hey, media. Good to see you. Let's talk about the big signing that we had made. The one, the only Javon Hargrave. I'll tell the story again for the umpteenth time now since you're here.
Okay.
Friday, before I went and had surgery on my mouth, I was on Grant's channel, and he had asked us, me and the lovely Peachy here as well, and the homie Steph that's going to be on the channel on next Wednesday. He had asked us what free agent we wanted. And I said, well, it might not be a biggest need or, I mean, it was a need, but I was just being selfish. I didn't think, it was actually a player that the 49ers would go out and get because I knew it would be an expensive player, right? And I wasn't thinking that 49ers would actually go spend on this position while having to pay Nick Bosa. But it was Javon Hargrave. So when I woke up after I slept in, well, because I couldn't sleep the morning that all the signing of Javon Hargrave, well, of course it wasn't official, but the tampering, the wannabe signing happened. I woke up and saw it, so I had to check and make sure that I wasn't getting pranked, because there's all these fake accounts that start posting shit on Twitter. Probably Steve-O runs it. So once I seen it was for real, I was like, holy shit, like we just really made this kind of move. Like the 49ers ain't fucking playing around. Like we're doing this thing for real. We might not have a quarterback per se right now, or maybe we got 2 or 3, who knows? Depends on how you want to look at it, but we're doing this thing. What were your feelings when you seen?
One word, shocked. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't think they were gonna go out and make a huge splash like that. But I'm happy because I mean, he's better than DJ Jones for sure. You know what I mean? And when DJ Jones left, I was sad. I'm just like, man, like he's the man right next to Armstead. Like, I felt like the defense was just that much more productive getting to the quarterback and stuff when DJ Jones was in there. So now that we got a legit like Pro Bowler that's gonna go in and play next to Armstead, that's amazing. So now you literally got 2 guys that can take on 2 blockers and let Bosa and whoever it is, whether it's Jake Jackson, Farrell, whoever it's going to end up being, like for whoever ends up opposite of Nick Bosa, there should be no excuses, none. Like you should be getting to the quarterback effectively. I'm not saying you should have 15, 16 sacks. I'm not saying that. You should be able to disrupt the passing game, with that kind of talent, that defensive line. And I really think that Drake Jackson is gonna turn a corner this year. So yeah, that signing was amazing. And people keep bringing up we should just use that money to get DeForest Buckner. It's like a 3-year difference
I'm
in
so tired of
money.
fucking hearing about it.
That's stupid
Let
to me.
it go
Like
already.
that's stupid to me because what the situation is, the money's different, the salary cap is different at the time.
Yeah,
The salary cap is higher now, so
exactly.
I'm like, for
Like we
people
didn't
to
have the money then, we have it now.
exactly. So that doesn't make sense. Oh, you should just kept Buckner for that price, but come on, people, you guys are smarter than that. You guys understand that the salary cap changes every year. There's different players on different contracts, so that's foolishness. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wanted him to stay. I would rather have had him than Armstead. I'll take that to my grave. But that's not what happened. DeForest Buckner was gone. We didn't pay him. So to compare contracts from 2020 to 2023 is foolishness.
Yeah.
Complete foolishness. It's not like it's a year apart. It's 3 years. So let it go.
Yeah. Jerry says we would have had to let Warner go if we did back then. Yeah, we don't know what moves would have had to be different if we would have paid that kind of money, to Buckner back then. Plus, like the Ayuk pick, like so much things, we don't know, Jimmy Ward, like being paid, like back then, so much pieces would have not fallen in line the way they did. So
exactly.
It's like, and I heard somebody talk about, like, I guess an article came out and even Defoe had said, like, talked about it too.
Yeah.
And said, oh, that's funny. That's even the same amount as my contract or something. Like he needs to let it go too. Like, you got paid, you moved on, you chose to go to another city as well. Like, you had the choice, you chose to pick a bigger bag, like at the end of the day, like, I'm not mad at you. You took care of your family, but you could have chose to take less money, right? Like, you had the choice. So what are we doing here? Like, get over it already. It's like, shit, you're on a whole nother team. Go be with your guys. Like, you're not happy over there. Like, you're mad because you picked a shitty team. Like, that's not our fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should have picked a team that wins. Like, go cry. Shit.
Exactly, Ty.
And to your numbers. Huh?
No, Ty just said the same thing that you just said. Exactly, Ty. Same thing Miriah just said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it took less money.
Yeah. Like, shit. Yeah, he is sour and salty. Like, I would have loved to keep him. Trust me. Like, I was so sad to lose him. Like,
he was my favorite player at the time.
Yeah,
he was my favorite player. Like, I wanted him to stay. I was like, man, and I was a little upset. I was like, man, like, really? Like, Buckner's been he's like Fred Warner, always healthy.
Yeah.
You know what you're gonna get. Armstead, his first couple of years, struggled with injuries, and he had that one good year when we had D Ford, Bosa, and Buckner when he had the 10 sacks, and then they paid him all that money, and then I don't think he's been as good as since that year. You know what I mean? And so, but like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and crap on Eric Armstead. He's, he does his thing, but I'm just saying, if I had to choose at the time, it definitely would have been Buckner. But like you said, he could have chose to have less money, and but he didn't, and I'm not pissed off at him for it. Like, he got his money, he did his thing, but man, like, it's crazy. Like, it's just happened in 2020. Like, it's done. So
enter your numbers. If anybody is new, enter a number in the chat, 1 through 100. We're gonna do a giveaway. Whoever's I'll do a number, random number generator. Whoever's the closest will win. Good luck, everybody. Let's see. Let's do one of the stickers right now. We'll go ahead and let's do Jerry. Jerry. No, wrong Jerry.
I like what Gina said, that there's been players that are switching over, and Gina, she lives in the Bay Area, so she probably sees it firsthand. But it's sad that I'm going to click on her thing.
Oh, okay.
Some people are becoming Raiders fans now that Jimmy is gone, and that's crazy to me. Like, if that's what you want to do, if you want to follow a quarterback that's average like that, like, it would have made, like, if somebody would have told me, man, I love Joe Montana so much that when he left, I went to the Chiefs. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a great player. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'd understand it more.
At least that made more sense.
It made more sense when Jerry Rice. Yeah, when Jerry Rice left, and he left to the Raiders. Okay, if you want to follow Jerry Rice, you're following Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders. Do your thing. Like, if you want to go ahead and keep following mediocrity and average, then go ahead and do your thing. That's crazy to me that this is even a subject.
Yeah. Hey, NY. What up? What up? I was watching, me and my wife watched Masked Singer. And so we were catching up. At one point we were like 6 seasons behind. So we're caught up all the way now. But last season, Jerry Springer was on there. And so one of the clues was you chant my name you yell my name at your TV. And that's why, because it was Jerry.
That's funny. Do you happen to know when the first number started?
Nope. Not that long ago.
Okay.
Right here, 27, I think, Peachy.
Okay. Did you start already?
Or maybe, no, let me see. Maybe
No.
it's with your girl, 23. Let me see. Nope.
No, it's higher than that. It's way up
keep
there.
going
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, right here, Christy, 49, because I have enter your numbers right above that.
oh, okay. Perfect.
I should just put that in the chat every time. Enter your numbers, and then we know to start it from that point. So, real quick, not some 49ers news, but everybody, yeah, enter your numbers, get your numbers in the chat, 1 through 100. We'll get back to some 49er news in a minute. But today, Aaron Rodgers announced that he is going to the Jets. So, I mean, we always beat the Green Bay in the playoffs anyways, but that was one of our only competition, you could say, was Green Bay. They did not last year, didn't get to the playoffs, but most of the times we're in the playoffs with us. But now, the NFC gets weaker. Pretty soon, it's just going to be the 49ers and the Seahawks in the NFC. Like,
yeah.
what do you think about him? Like, because I mean, is that a better situation in the Jets if you really think about it?
I think it just depends on how they let him play. Because I know he had an issue with like Mike McCarthy, or no, not Mike McCarthy. When he first got, who's the coach of them now? I can't remember. I know it's one of them brothers, but when he first got there, he had an issue because like I guess Mike McCarthy let him play more free, and then like the other guy, he's more of like, oh no, you need to play during my structure, whatever the case may
He's
be.
more Kyle Shanahan, like.
Yeah, so like I think him going to the Jets. I mean, they have some great weapons. I think they got the guy Elijah Moore, who I had a huge draft crush on. They got your boy as the running back that you had a draft crush on, Michael Carter, whoever his name was. So they got some weapons. Garrett Wilson, and I think they just picked up Alan Lazard too, right? They just picked up Alan Lazard, so they gave him some familiar pieces, I guess you could say, to play with him. But I don't know. They have a great defense, and I think that was always the Packers' problem. Like they never had a defense, but now they have a defense. But and now they have a legit Hall of Fame quarterback. Who, yeah, he's lost a few steps or whatever the case may be, but he still can sling that thing. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a better situation or not. I guess time will tell. But playing in the AFC, maybe not, because I feel like AFC is a lot deeper than the NFC now. So, you got just in your division alone, you got the Dolphins and the Bills. And then you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, like that. That conference is deep. So, and then to go off what you said about the NFC, I mean, I know the Cowboys, they made a strong move in getting us Stephon Gilmore to go with the Diggs at corner. That was a good move. But then they cut Zeke. They tell Zeke he's released.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's gone. Yeah.
Fatty.
Yeah, but then you got Tony Pollard, who they franchise tag, but then he's coming off an injury. So the Cowboys are probably going to be in it, too. Whether it's them winning the division or what. So you really look at it right now, in my opinion, the NFC is not good. Even the Vikings are going downhill. Eric Kendricks is gone. Adam Thielen is gone. I mean, they've lost some pieces. So you look at it right now, it's the NFC is for the taking for the Niners. You got us, the Eagles, Dallas, and probably the Seahawks. Like literally just 4 teams that that will pose a threat to us. So it's crazy.
Hey, Jess. We're doing a giveaway right now for this Jerry Rice sticker. If you want to scroll up, you'll see where I have in the chat that we're starting the giveaway, and the numbers will start right there. If you want to enter real quick. It's crazy. I can't wait till all this shakes out and we get to see, how all these teams shape up. Because, man, the AFC and NFC is really lopsided at this point. So before we signed this DN today, And I mean, he's not making that much money, so
No.
I can't imagine. I haven't seen the numbers, but I'm sure it's not that high that it's going to make much of a difference. The last number I had seen before I had went to bed last night was that the 49ers had restructured Fred, and
Yes.
we're sitting at about 13.5 million in cap space.
Mhm.
What would be the move that you would like to see them make next?
It's kind of tough. Maybe some offensive line depth. You know, I don't know. I mean, well, I guess. Well, I'll take that back. Robbie Gold, if he wants to stay, give him like another 2-year deal or something like that. Although I'm a huge fan of Moody. I'm a Wolverines
Mm-hmm.
fan. I would
I
love,
want him so
I would
bad.
love to get him, and I wouldn't even, and I wouldn't even be mad if we picked him with one of our third-round picks. Like, I'd be happy with that, just because the dude is money. He kicks in bad weather. You know what I mean? So having somebody like that would be great. But Gold he's clutch. He does his thing. I know he struggles sometimes over 50 yards, but it's rare that you kick those in the NFL anyway. But inside under 50 yards and in the playoffs, the dude is money. So I don't think he'll get a long contract. I was thinking maybe like a 2-year deal worth maybe 12 million or something like that. You know what I mean? To get him back on this team. So, I don't know. I would say maybe offensive line. I know we re-signed Colton McKivitz but I think you look at it, we have. Oh, stop it. I know Ambry Thomas has been trash, but oh, stop it. But yeah, I just think we lost. I know he's not a big loss, but it's still a loss. Brunskill's gone, and then we lost Mike McGlinchey. But yeah, I feel like some free agent offensive line depth will be good. But then we kept Jake Brendel. So I've said it before and I say it again. I like that. I like our offensive line kind of as is, because now we won't have any. Well, unless my boy Poe makes it into the starting lineup, we probably are not going to have any new guys on that starting line. Starting offensive line. I truly believe that Spencer Burford should go to right tackle. That's my opinion. I feel like he has the ability, and then let Colton McKivitz or Jalen Moore, well, not Colton McKivitz, let Jalen Moore and Jason Poe, or maybe even Nick Sakells battle out for the interior offensive line. So, yeah, that's only two things I would think of. I want, now that we re-signed Gibson, I'm happy about that in a 1-year deal. But I believe that safety, edge, and probably offensive line will probably be our first 3 picks. So.
Ty says Jason Post should be the backup swing. I was saying yesterday on our Niners and Friends show that I could see him filling the role of, and not used the same way that we use this one, but in a more traditional role, to take the place of Juice when he's gone.
Yeah,
A more
that'd be a good.
traditional fullback, actually run him, use him as a bully fullback, not this hybrid tight end fucking
Running
whatever
back or whatever you want to call it.
Juice's
Yeah.
freaking wannabe. I don't know. Juice is like, he doesn't even get used. Like, I don't know what he is.
And
Like,
he
so
should, I think,
frustrating. Yeah.
yeah. To go off of 49er media, I understand about the Ambry Thomas thing, and I'm a diehard Wolverines fan. Going into his 3rd year, if he plays the same way as he did last year, I'm done with him. Like, he needs to be done. However, I have, we always talk about Chris Kasarik and the way he does his defensive line. I want to see what Steve Wilkes does with the secondary, because Wilkes is a secondary guru. So maybe that might be a blessing in disguise for Ambry Thomas. But I agree, if he's terrible again this year, I'm sorry, he's gonna have to go.
Yeah. And I think, that seems about the time, right? Like this will be what, his 3rd year?
His 3rd year, going to his 3rd
Yeah.
year, yeah.
So about 3 years. I'm not one for giving up on players, but about 3 years. I heard, Raj, he's kind of in the know of what's going on around the building. And I heard him say on his show last night that, oh, we have to fill that role. Well, I think they have something. And like he's mentioned it, but wouldn't mention it. But he made it sound like they have already filled that position. So I think he knows that they do have somebody in there. So we shall see. But yeah, from the sound of it, he made it seem like he knows who it is.
Okay.
Appreciate it. I told him, yeah, we had a fun episode, even if it's at Ryan's expense. And Beto said that's the most attention Ryan ever gets, so it's okay. So that's how we run that show. We have fun at Ryan's expense. That's how
That's
we do.
funny.
All right, let's give away this Jerry Rice. Let's do it. Let's do it. Good luck, everybody. 93.
Old school DJ Jones's number. And oh, that was a question from Sin.
Yeah, we're gonna get to your questions soon. I started.
Dang. Trying to find out. Okay, I should be close here. I'm trying to find where you started it at. Peachy, what about Peachy? She said, should we bring back Trent Sherfield? No. I'm going to say no. All right, I found it. So Chrissy starts at 49. I got Ty with number 84. That's pretty close.
I got David with 99. So that's
okay,
like
that's
6
definitely
away.
closer. Yeah, it's definitely closer. David McNiner, 99. Yeah, I see that. Just let me go down. These numbers are pretty spread out. What about you? You think Trent Sherfield, would you like to bring him back?
Nah. He didn't do much when he was here, so
No.
they talked him up, and then we didn't see shit from him. So
yeah, talked him up.
I'm over
bringing
bringing
it.
up all these old ass fucking washed up whatever nobodies. Bring me some new blood.
Yeah, and here's the issue with it too. It's like, I know they talk a big game and all this other stuff, and I think McNiner won. Talk a big game, but they were like, when supposedly Brandon Ayuk was in the doghouse or whatever, they were like, oh, he's looking so much better. Trent Sherfield's looking so much better than him.
I think
and then
that
when
was
it came down,
smoke.
and there was coming a time too, all we see was Mohamed Sanu come in. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, why does Sanu come in if Sherfield's been the second best receiver? That didn't make sense. I'm excited. I would say no, just because I'm excited because, we still got Ray McLeod. And I'm excited to see what Danny Gray is going to do on this team. So Danny Gray, I think he's going to step up and be that. So, yeah. Oh, stop it, Ty.
David.
Yeah. Hey, what up, Dion?
What's up, Dion?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, you kind of touched on it. Let me bring it up here. About the Jake Brendel signing. It was reported that he was offered more money by the Jets, and he turned it down to sign with the 49ers. And he signs a 4-year deal, which I love because we can get somebody in there at the position for some length of time, right? Like
exactly.
Every year we're like, it's a revolving door there.
Yep.
And like, I feel like he's getting such, like, people are giving him like so much shit. Like, oh, he was bad at this. He was bad at this. We could have upgraded. We could have did this. And it's like, we got him on the cheap, I feel like. We got him in 4 years. That was only his first year starting. He had 3 freaking starting quarterbacks. Well, 4, actually, if you want to count freaking Josh Johnson. Like, he went into the year with supposed to be Trey Lance as his guy. And then all of a sudden, after 1.5 games, he gets thrown freaking Jimmy Garoppolo. Then he has to start with freaking another quarterback that he's never worked with before. So it's like, he had to learn on the job. He didn't get no off the field training. He's had to learn as he goes. Like, I think he did damn good for, this offense. Like, we know that this offense is not easy for a center, so to be able to get him 4-year deal, 20 million, 8 million, and that's a max value. So whatever the whole broken down, we know they never even get close to what the max value is. Sure, it's like you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to jump through hoops and whatever, balance on your head, and $8 million guaranteed. So that's really the part that, you know, we got to worry about. And then the 4 years, like that's right there. So I think that's huge. Like I was excited, like to be able to lock up that spot and not have to worry about that for a freaking while. To be like, you know, most of our O line is coming back. So
Yeah.
like, remember last year we're so worried, like who's our O line going to be? Like for a couple of weeks there, like it was new guys every freaking day. Like during training camp, they're switching in people. Like, oh well, we have to see which guys work, and we're like, well, how are they ever going to get used to anything? You know, because every day it's somebody else next to them. You know. And so at least this is most of the same guys, you know, so I love this move. I was super excited. Might not be the flashiest move, might not be the sexiest move, but I love it. How did you feel about it?
I feel the same way.
Wait, real quick. Go ahead and enter your numbers. We'll go ahead and do this. Debo Samuel, drippity drip. And make sure, again, let me show y'all. If you guys aren't following my guy, Inspector Dabbit, on Twitter, he made these stickers. He makes gear, shirts. Let me get this shit up in here. He makes shirts. He makes pictures, stickers. He has all kinds of stuff. Cups, all kinds, everything you could think of. He can make it. He has all kinds of different designs, all the different players. I have all kinds. Look at all this. You guys can't really see it, but I have all this stuff he makes. Trey Lance, Bosa, Pat, freaking Kittle, Fred Warner, the helmets dripping, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you guys check him out. He's the best. And he does all kinds of giveaways as well. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, he's good. I could give that man his props. I like the signing as well. I think, you know, when it comes down to your offense, the best continuity needs to be on that offensive line. And the fact that you're bringing him back for 4 years, that's amazing because, you know, we've been trying to find a good center for years. We keep bringing in free agents. Either they're here, you know, either they're too old and they give us a year or two and they're gone, or they can't stay healthy. And Weston Richburg, you know, he was a great center for the Giants, comes to us and he couldn't stay healthy. Drake Brendel, I mean, he was healthy all season, and it was his first year as a starter, and I think he did an amazing job. So, you know, I honestly think we got him for a steal because he probably, like you said, he could have took more money with the Jets, but he decided to stay. You know, somebody who gave him an opportunity. I love players when they do stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stick with the team, even though for less money, stick with the team who gave me the opportunity.
Yep.
So the fact that they gave him an opportunity and said you're going to be our starter, it worked out. You know,
the O-line coach that has believed in him the entire time.
And I think, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, we kind of figured first couple of weeks it would be tough just because of the simple fact that, you know, it's hard when you're interchanging so many pieces. When we lost Laken Tomlinson and Tom Compton, all this other stuff, and we're trying to make sure stuff fit, you know, it's hard. So that's why I thought the offense line struggled a bit. But like week 4, week 5, like we said, you know, they finally got that continuity down and they started playing great football. So I like the signing. I don't know why he's getting hated on. I mean, not, you know, if you think every single spot on your roster is going to be a Pro Bowler, that's not happening.
That's what people think. Like they're going to be the top paid, the highest performing, the best at their position. It's like how do you think that's going to happen? We still have to pay Bosa too somehow, you know? Like,
so people. I mean, I always look at it like Cleveland Farrell. Why didn't we get, you know, like him? Why do we get him? We need to. Okay, cool, but we can't pay everybody. Like you have to get what you can get. And agree that okay, this was going to help. And like I said, I think when it's all said and done, we'll look at everything and address it during the draft. You know what I'm saying? So I like it, and I hope that, you know, now you look at it like really we're losing one starter instead of like 3 that we're, you know, scared of last year, and then 2, it's like we don't even know what's going to happen. Like if Colton McKivitz, I think somebody brought up in the chat, Colton McKivitz ends up starting at right tackle, and then, you know, he does his thing, and then Spencer Burford is at right guard. You got somebody who's familiar with the system, and Colton McKivitz already. So, YT.
She said we're talking about 44. Now you're talking about Tom Compton. I was listening to who was I listening to? Oh shit. Oh my god. I was listening to somebody's show yesterday and freaking Vish. I was listening to Vish's show and he had on Larry Krueger, and Larry Krueger brought up, he was reading a name of like the offensive line people that were available or whatever, and he's like, oh, Tom Compton, he's versatile, available, and just reads his name like he's just one of the ones available and great to, like, he's never been on the team, just like somebody that's available that we should pick up. And I'm just like, I put in the chat, Tom Compton, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Like, these people are killing me. Nobody wants Tom Compton back on this fucking team. Like,
No.
isn't that guy retired yet?
I know. I think he only signed a 1-year deal with Denver last year, and that was it. So, I mean, Tom Compton, he's a backup.
Yeah.
Daniel Brunskill, he's a backup. But when they come in and, you want somebody to give you, somebody gets injured 4 or 5 games, it's not the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Compton at one point played pretty well before he left us. So you can say what you want. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he was. I mean, yeah, he played better than expected. He's a backup. So you have to get, you get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? So he comes in, he's serviceable. That's all I can ask for. I'm beyond nauseous. Oh my God, is he?
Everybody get your numbers in for the Debo drip. Give you guys a couple more minutes. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on, we'll talk about the Colton McKivitz signing. Let me get it pulled up. So I got the numbers here. I think it was 2 year. Mm-hmm. Was it 2 years?
It was 2 years, I believe, yeah.
Where the hell are you, Colton? Oh, Colton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years anyway. So
yeah.
Obviously we saw Mike McGlinchey sign a huge contract with the Denver Broncos. Whew, man, that's crazy. I mean, all good to him. Like his family's, they're taken care of, but good Lord.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Broncos fans got to be, I'm sure they're not happy with that at all. But, or maybe they think he's good. Who knows? But what are your 2-year extension through the 2024 season? So do you picture that he's going to be starting in that spot, or do you think that we're going to pick up another veteran to compete? Do you think he's going to be competing with people that we already have on the team? Do you think we're going to be drafting somebody to compete? What do you think it's going to be looking like at that spot?
He's going to get a chance to compete for sure because he's already started, some games with some injuries and stuff. I think, like when you asked earlier, what other position should we bring in? I'm thinking some offensive line depth just to see what's out there. I don't know who else we would have unless, because as of right now, who would be starting at right tackle? We don't know. You know what I mean? Because we've lost Brunskill, we lost McGlinchey. I don't know what the situation is going to be. I saw Jalen Moore, play some tackle, and I don't like it. I don't like him there. He's a guard.
You know what, Steve-O? I've done nothing but be cool with you. Every time that you were trolling other people's shows, freaking emailing me not to fucking be tattling on you and shit, I've done nothing but give you chance after chance after chance. I'm done with you. Go fuck yourself.
So yeah, I don't know. He's gonna give a chance to compete. They signed him to 2 years for a chance to compete. So I think he will have that opportunity. But I ultimately don't think he wins the job. So, but like I said, who knows? There were some people who stepped up last year who surprised me. Spencer Burford did an amazing job as a rookie at right guard. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think we're not done. I think we do go after some offensive line depth. And then even if we draft a rookie, I still think a rookie will compete as well. So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope definitely that's not their plans, just to have
Colton McKivitz,
just to roll Colton out there. Like here's our replacement, guys. Because as much as we just talked about, you can't have a Pro Bowl, top paid, whatever at each position. I think we got to have an upgrade. I don't know if he's an upgrade over Mike,
Yeah, no.
All right, let's do this giveaway for some Debo drip. I appreciate each of you guys that are here with us. Let me find where this damn app went now. Guy freaking is on my last nerve, man.
Huh.
Like, I don't know what his ass gets like out of like going and trolling everybody in every freaking content creator's stream. Like, that's
See,
all he does
that's weird.
all day,
That's weird.
all night
Yeah,
long.
that's weird behavior. I think he needs some validation in his life or something. He needs to feel wanted or something. I don't know. That's weird behavior.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
dude,
I've
do you
been
need a
nothing but
hug?
like been cool with him and like giving
Yeah,
chance after chance and trying to be nice to him
yeah,
and like warn him, like, hey, like I try like to not let him be cussing out people in my chat and all this shit and like
yeah.
shit's
Like,
like
bro, do you need a hug or what, bro? Like, I don't know. What the heck is it?
fucking
Yeah,
weirdo.
yeah.
And he'll just make other freaking random accounts to come. Like, he comes in our chat, like, talks shit about black people, about gay people. It's like, and yet you like want to keep coming back into our chat, you know? Like, I don't get it. It's like, you're a freaking weirdo.
Yeah. Sounds like somebody that don't have a job and just gets on people's pages just
Yeah,
because he has nothing better to do.
exactly.
Why don't you go beat somebody's cheeks or something and get yourself a life? 12.
12. Steve
East
O'Donoghue.
East Coast Red and Gold podcast has 14.
Oh, Peachy said check DM. Let me see.
What was the number again?
12.
12. Okay. 49er Media has 11. Let me see.
San Francisco made a call per source on Darius Slay. I was just told that the San Francisco 49ers are one of the teams who have reached out to cornerback Darius Slay's agency. There's at least 5 teams calling about Darius Slay.
Oh, I'm sure he's a beast of a corner. 49er Media won that. He has 11.
Congrats, media. Yay, media. Let me get it up here. Who is the last person to wear 12? Media just said breaking new. Breaking new.
Didn't did wide receiver Steve Smith from USC, did he ever play for us? I think he wore 12. I'm trying to think.
Juan Thornhill signing with the Browns. I don't see no 49ers breaking news. Mike Garafolo. Let me see.
No, let me see. Maybe he didn't. I'm trying to think who's number 12 last. I don't know.
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
question. That's a good question, Ty. I don't know.
49ers agree to terms with cornerback Isaiah Oliver.
Oh, okay. I like that.
2018 Falcons second round pick heads to Santa
Yes.
Clara after 5 years in Atlanta.
Okay, I like that. Isaiah Oliver. Oh, I'm feeling that.
Hey, Sam. Thanks, media. So let's look up something about Isaiah Oliver real quick.
26-year-old corner. Okay.
Since we just made a move.
Only 2
Media
career interceptions.
is he's winning stuff and breaking news. Look at that. So Isaiah Oliver played college football at Colorado. He was drafted by the Falcons in the second round in the 2018 draft. 6 foot 210 pounds. Like, damn, he's big. 2,000 pounds. Let's see. Total tackles 183, 1 sack, 30 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries.
That's a solid signing. He's not too much of a ball hog, but you know, he's a pretty solid corner.
Yeah.
The Symmetry said he's coming off a knee injury.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have a defensive coordinator now that specializes, in the
And in the
secondary.
secondary.
So
Yep, Steve Wilkes. Yep.
um, hopefully we have a guy that can work his magic now with these guys.
NBA Chance said Jimmy threw a pick to him in the Atlanta game.
So he has 2 picks, and one of them comes off of Jimmy.
Yep.
Go fucking figure. Wow. They're like, yeah,
Can't
we
make
like that guy.
can't make this up, huh? Yeah, 26. That's still pretty young. I don't. You know, he's been the number 2 corner pretty much his whole career because they have what's his name there, AJ Terrell, who's a great corner. So I can see him coming in, depending on his health and stuff. Competing for the outside with Demo. So
Yeah.
yeah. So with all these signings, what would you like to see? And I know we're all about best player available. What would you like to see with our very first pick in the draft? Like, let's just say there's no trade ups. We stay in the 3rd round with all 3 picks. Who would you like to draft? Like your first? Don't have to be a player, just a position. Because I'm thinking safety.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. Safety to come in and
Learn behind Gibson.
compete, learn.
Yeah. That's why I would thinking after everything's going on. I'm looking at corner. And I'm sorry, looking at safety, then I'm probably looking at offensive line depth, and then
Who said
probably
he's a nickel?
edge.
He's
He's
gonna
going to
compete
compete,
to
start
start
at
at
nickel.
nickel. So that's
So,
good. I mean,
so him and
compete with
Womack, and yeah. So we'll see what's going
because who
on.
else do we have at that spot to compete? Nobody.
Just my boy Ambry, but is he going to compete? You know
No.
what I mean? Like we're just waiting for him. Like I said, hopefully Steve Wilkes can do something with him. But yeah, and then we have that one guy too, Quantrez Knight. Remember?
Yeah.
We have him still in the roster too, so I'm sure he'll be in and he'll be competing as well. But yeah, we have no backup safety right now, so I'm thinking.
Let's do another giveaway.
Okay, so
What
yeah, I'm
should we do?
thinking probably.
We got
What
Drake,
cards you have at your disposal right now?
Trey, Jawan.
I say we do a
Bosa.
Jennings. I say we do a
All right.
Jennings. Yeah.
Enter your numbers. We'll do a Juwan Jennings.
And Chrissy don't be playing.
I know she got that shit speed. She got
Make sure I
already
start that.
programmed.
I think she already has it in the comment section. As soon as you say that, she just hits send. But yeah,
Don't nobody talk because I can't mess this message up.
yeah. I agree, Ty. We have no backup safety right now, so yeah, I would like safety, offensive tackle, and then probably edge. That's probably my 3 I'm going for off top. What about you guys in the chat? After free agency has been pretty successful,
let's get the Sin's question as well.
Sin's question. No, that's right. You got it starred?
Yep. Because I've seen this, and this is like I have a show with Ryan tomorrow morning, and this is actually the title of our show.
So I would say I'd say we're pretty much even right now, to be honest. Like I know you look at it on paper, you're like, man, we've lost a lot, but didn't we keep Givens as well?
Yep.
We kept Givens. We got Hargrave.
Juwan Jennings, enter your numbers 1 through 100.
We got Hargrave, so I feel like the D line is pretty solid, especially inside. I know Farrell was not the guy that is going to excite anybody, but I feel like he took the place of a Minihue. We re-signed our center, which is huge. So I said we broke even. I know everybody's talking about the Emmanuel Mosley stuff, but he was off the team. He was hurt and not playing when we won 12 straight games. So Demo has actually came in and did a bang up job, and like Breezy was saying, I think that's why they were okay letting Emmanuel Mosley go. So I don't know. I don't think we've gotten worse. I'd say we're even, Sin. I don't think we're worse or typically I would say better. I say we're better in certain positions, but Aziz leaving to me is huge. But then we always see these linebackers, and then Flanagan Foles. I guess we didn't tender him, so now he's free to go wherever he wants. But as we've talked about before, we drafted some linebackers last year that has some promise with McCrary Ball and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I think we're going to be fine. And like I said, 11 draft picks is huge. So
Yeah. Everybody enter your numbers 1 through 100. Get in the giveaway. I see you lurkers out there lurking. Get those numbers in. We're about to get out of here. I know we've been here a long time. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with us. I mean, obviously, I feel like, I can't really give a better or worse answer. I feel like it's incomplete because it is incomplete. But I just feel like it's more like fans right now on Twitter are like losing their minds. And I feel like it's more of an emotional thing. People get so emotionally tied to players that when they leave, they think, oh my God, we're never going to be able to replace that person. Look at how well Jimmy Ward did in this spot. Look at how well Emmanuel Mosley was doing before he went down in injury. And like, hold on, let me take it.
it's okay. People in here getting more emotional than Carl Thomas. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I loved Emmanuel Mosley, and I wanted, as soon as he went down with injury, I was one of the first people to say, I hope the 49ers can find a way to bring him back. But Diamador Lenore played well enough, and I said this as soon as it happened, he played well enough that we didn't need to bring him back, and that's what's going to happen. Like, and I seen earlier that people were saying, when Joe Montana left the team, we didn't follow him. When Jerry Rice left the team, we didn't follow him, even though, they were our favorite players. And that's the same thing, right? Like those were Hall of Fame players. Yet somehow the team found a way to replace them, right? Not maybe replace them, right? Jerry Rice could never be replaced, but the team moves on. We move on as fans, they fill that position. Somebody else is going to come in and do a job well enough that we're going to move on as fans and fall in love with a whole new group of players. It's like, that's what we do as fans. So yeah, it might feel like a gut punch. Like that's what I felt when, even though I knew Aziz was leaving, even though I knew Jimmy Ward was leaving, like when the notification came across, it was like a gut punch, and it's like, okay, like I wish them the best. I know how good they are as men, as players, and I wish them nothing but the best. I hope they go and take care of their families, and I hope they're set for the rest of their lives because they deserve that. They put their lives on the line. They risk their bodies every day to do this, to take care of their families. And I wish them nothing but the best. But now I got to support the next guy that's going to step in because this is the team that I love, not them, unfortunately. They're going to go and put another team's jersey on, and I'm going to watch them from afar and hope they're doing great. But that's not the team I like, so I got to root for the 49ers. So the next person that steps up, into that nickel spot, whether that's Womack, I hope so, because I've been a fan from him for day one, and I hope he gets a chance. Whether that's McCrary Ball, I hope so, because I've been a fan from him from day one, and I hope he gets a chance. We have to be behind the younger guys, and they're going to fit in and do a great job too. And if they don't, they'll be out the door, and we'll get a new guy in that hopefully does. And that's the cycle of football. That's what being a fan is, so just trust in the front office. They haven't let us down so far. They all make mistakes. That's nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole Javon Kinlaw thing, they made a fucking mistake. We say this all the time. It's not Javon Kinlaw's fault that his knees are screwed up, right? It's their fault. It's the 49ers' fault for drafting him, knowing his knees are fucked up.
Exactly.
But now they righted their wrong because they went out and got a new Javon to take the spot.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we're done with that. They washed their hands. They filled in that spot. Move on. Everybody makes mistakes. There's no front office. There's no football team that's perfect. So it's time to move on. Let's move on to the next season. Let these guys go. We wish them well. See ya. That's what we got to do. I think this team will be just fine without any of these guys.
I agree.
That's the way it got to go. What's up, bro? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Hope all is well. You are emotionally damaged.
Yep. Carl Thomas It's a great song, but yeah, you're right. These people get emotional. So I was like, people get more emotional than Carl Thomas on here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're right. Like these players, it's a business end of the day. Yeah, like you said, I wanted Jimmy Ward to be a 49er for life, but unfortunately, it is what it is. There's only so many people that can do that. The Bryant Youngs and stuff like that who stay 49ers their whole careers. It's rare that a player even does that nowadays. So I understand, and I'm happy for Jimmy Ward. It sucks, but I'm happy for him
Yeah.
because he probably gets back to going to where he's comfortable playing free safety, and then also he gets his bag at the same time. And everybody kept saying like, oh, he gotta. It's funny. First thing, 49ers couldn't afford that contract. Well, maybe they could have, but you got to remember, if you're getting 12 million in California, 12 million in Texas,
hmm
huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference. $12 million in Texas will stretch a lot further than 12 million in California.
hmm
So it's just what it comes down to it.
It's always, oh, the 49ers didn't want to pay them. Like, I've seen so many people saying, especially about the center position, oh, the 49ers didn't want to pay this center, about, I think it was Bradbury or I
Yeah,
don't,
Garrett
or
Bradbury. Yeah,
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 with the
yeah.
Vikings.
For
Is
the
that
Vikings, yeah, he
okay?
got a 3 year extension.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I keep hearing the 49ers didn't want to pay Bradbury a little bit more to come for the 49ers. It's like, Bradbury didn't want to come to the 49ers. He wanted to stay where he already was playing. Did you ever think about that? Like, maybe the 49ers didn't have that option. Like maybe it's not up to the 49ers. Maybe Jimmy Ward didn't want to come back to the 49ers. Like, it's not always just, oh, the 49ers have the opportunity just to get whoever the fuck they want, whoever that you want them to get. It's like, not everybody wants to come play for your favorite team. I'm sorry to break the news to you.
yeah,
Not everybody wants to go live in California and pay 90% freaking tax. Like,
exactly,
that's not everybody's dream, just because
exactly.
half y'all live there. Not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm originally from California. I love the Bay Area; it's beautiful, but and I get it. These dudes are millionaires, so people think money is not an issue. But trust me, it is. It
And
goes
some
and
of
it
these
goes
guys
fast.
really aren't,
Yeah,
like some of them been just making $1 million, 2
yeah, like
million
Brock
a freaking
Purdy.
contract at a time,
Yeah,
like money don't last
yeah.
forever.
I'm sorry, but a 1 bedroom in San Francisco for 3,000 isn't as enticing for a one
Yeah.
bedroom for $1,000 in Houston. I'm sorry. That's
And
just
then
the way
maybe
it
Jimmy
is.
Ward felt some kind of way after his coach tells him, you either play nickel or you sit your ass on the bench. Maybe he didn't want to go back and play for him. Maybe he would rather go back and play for D'Amico.
Yeah,
Did you ever think about that?
exactly.
Like I don't know. Oh no. All right, G.
Oh man.
I hope shit gets better. Get your power on. Hope everything's all right. That weather's been crazy over there. My
Yeah,
computer
that's
right now says rain tonight, so I'm sure it's blowing on over here. Keep your
over
all
here in
shit
Vegas.
over there.
So
Love you, sis. All right, let's draw this. Everybody, if you're not in the giveaway for this, Juwan Jennings, get your asses in there because we're trying to get our asses out of here.
and like my brother said, the place is small in Frisco. You paying 3,000 for a
For a jail
studio. That's
cell.
probably yeah for a studio that's like 400 square feet, and then you go to Texas, you got a 1 bedroom that's like 1,200 square feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get more bang for your buck. So I don't blame them one bit.
Yep. Exactly, Sim. Exactly. Like maybe, he lost respect for Shanahan when that all shit went down. Like, I've been here my entire career and I get an injury and you're going to let some guy come off the couch and take my job away from me. And then you're going to tell me, do you want to ride the bench or you want to play some other position that's not your position? Like,
Yep.
I would feel some type of way. But
Yep.
like fans just like react with their hearts and they don't ever think with their
Don't think
brains, So it's
exactly.
like,
Well, yeah, and you said it too. It's like, and we all, there's always that you shouldn't lose your job to injury type thing, but it's not like Jimmy Ward did anything wrong. It's not like he sucked. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like he got hurt early before week 1, I think it was. They put him in. I mean, the man just came off of making a Pro Bowl and a top 100 player
For the first time in
just
his
for
career.
the first time in his career. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm sorry, I know you got hurt, but let me go ahead and move you to nickel. And I get it, you do what's best for the team, but these players are still human.
OLG.
Yeah, these players are still human. So if I get benched, like if they fire me for doing nothing wrong, and then say, "Hey, I want you back," I might not want to go back. I might be like, you know what, I'm gonna go somewhere else who appreciates me. And like you hit the nail on the head. Maybe he just doesn't want to play for Kyle. Maybe he wants to play for D'Amico.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I mean, just because Kyle's y'all favorites, maybe he's not the player's favorite sometime.
mhm. You said $3,000 for a jail cell. That's hilarious. That's real talk though.
Yeah, I can go there for free. Shit.
and get your meals paid for you.
Yeah. Sometimes I think about doing that because it's better than here some days.
Hilarious.
Some days I can only afford one meal. So
Hey,
all right, let's draw this winner. Shit, we've been here 2 hours and 5 minutes.
I know,
already.
2 hours and 5 minutes. It's a
I've
long
been
show.
yelling for fucking 2 hours already. Block people, yell at Breezy. But his co-host didn't leave the chat, so I must be all right. She's been riding with us the whole time, so
Peachy ride or die. She's like, I ain't going nowhere.
she's like, I yell at his ass every day too.
Exactly.
Do it.
It's a healthy debate. It's not yelling,
All right. Good luck, everybody. I don't think there's that many people entered, so you guys got a good chance.
Yeah. I just got Christy again with 49.
Well,
Ooh. Might be Christy.
Yep.
She's been consistent. She's been consistent putting 49 every time. So
she got that 49 on speed dial.
This might work out for her. 31, 7, 51.
I think it probably did.
I think it's probably her. Yeah. I just want to make sure before I give somebody the winner. I don't want to be like Steve Harvey, granting somebody Miss World and then it not be the winner. You remember that?
Yeah, because I think we gave the winner to me and JV gave the winner out wrong the other night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Christy.
It's Christy.
Congrats. It's only right
that
the
Berto.
number 49 wins on the show every once in a while,
Yep. And at the last giveaway too. Yeah, Berto, we heard about Isaiah Oliver. Pretty pumped about it. Good signing.
Melissa, you're still here, Melissa? Hey, SG. How you doing, buddy? Let me play this thing for Christy here. Let's do this one.
Perfect. My brother and Sam said 1 more hour because I missed both. I missed most of the show.
I'll be losing my voice. I have to yell at y'all for another freaking hour. Like fucking children in this chat sometimes,
Hey, Dina. How you doing?
Dina, good to see you, sis. My Pennsylvania sister. Where's Melissa? I had to tell her something. J-Dog.
What? Call me crazy, but I think he's a go-to guy in the passing game.
I seen something earlier that wide receiver was one of the positions that 49ers were in talks with, so I don't think you're that crazy. And what's up, J-Dog? Appreciate you stopping through.
Yeah.
J-Dog Boston. We got 49ers worldwide.
Yeah.
World freaking wide.
Interesting. A go-to, like, what do you mean by go-to? Like a number one option, or do you like? That's what I think about when I see a go-to. Because I think Ayuk is that guy. But
yeah, let us know. Like a bigger, like a wide receiver one, or you didn't want like a bigger wide receiver, or because to me, I want like a wide receiver that, I mean, I want a bigger wide receiver, kind of like the body frame of Jawan Jennings, but used as like a 50-50 guy, like maybe like a faster, like a bigger wide receiver.
Like size-wise or just height?
Yeah, height, size, like a monster wide receiver,
Kind of like how, what's that guy's name who left? Like a Valdez Scantling type receiver.
Yeah.
Like somebody that's like 6'4".
Like they can go up and get those 50.
Yeah.
Like Ayuk's supposed to be that guy with his arms, but he's not that,
Yeah,
like
he's
he's
like, what
more
is he, like
finesse, I
6'1"?
feel like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's definitely finesse.
hmm
He's a finesse
But that
receiver.
guy that's gonna go up and yank the balls out of the freaking guy's hands, and it's gonna fight for the balls, and
like a Terrell Owens, like my
yeah.
brother said.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Like I said, somebody like a Valdez Scantling who left, who's with the Chiefs this year. He's 6'4", about 220, fast, you know what I mean, and can go up and get the ball. So I see what you're saying.
Melissa, who is supposed to? Do you remember who is supposed to? I guess that me and JV gave one of the giveaways was wrong the other night on mine and JV's show or something. People keep telling me. Do you remember? If not, but you remember everything, so that's why I ask you. Like she got a freaking memory of I don't freaking know. Who remembers stuff? Elephants, I think, right? Got the memory of an elephant. If you can remember, so that way I can like make it up to them and give them something, because I feel like we gave the shit away wrong.
It'd be awesome to have somebody the size of Jawan Jennings, the route running of Ayuk, and the physicality of Debo, and then the speed of Danny Gray.
Yeah,
put that all in one. That's like a Terrell Owens almost.
Like what's his face in Seattle?
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, because he's fast, he's big,
strong. Yep.
Strong. Mm-hmm. Like if he had a real
route tree, his route trees is not the best. Look at Ty over here instigating.
Not nosy. Nosy and a memory are two different things.
You gonna take that? That's funny.
But Dita, I'll have to watch it back and see who is supposed to win. All right, we're out of here, y'all.
All right, fam. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys hanging out with us forever today on what is today? Wednesday evening, Wednesday afternoon. I was closest. You gave it to John, who picked 31, not 40. Okay, so I'll message you later and make it up to you. I'll give you something. I don't think I have another Trent Williams, so I'll have to give you something else. All right, I love you all. Calvin Johnson type.
Oh my God, Calvin Johnson.
Oh man.
You know who's funny though? I love me some Calvin Johnson, but you know who I really loved even more than him in his prime was Andre Johnson for the Houston Texans. Love that guy.
I don't think there's no Megatrons in any drafts.
No, it's not going to be. You probably won't see that for a minute. Like that's a generational talent. 6'5", 240 with 4.3 speed.
Yeah.
And who can run routes. Yeah, that's almost impossible. Like, I mean, that's crazy.
Miss Debbie hanging up with us for 2 hours and 11 minutes, y'all. Just so you know. She's the queen. All right, Melissa. I appreciate you. I'm sorry. I love y'all. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Y'all are great. You guys are the best. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday, a wonderful rest of your week. I will be back tomorrow morning on the west side, tomorrow afternoon on the east side at what time? 11 a.m. Pacific time with my guy, Ryan Hensley, right here in this same space. So make sure you come by, say hey. And yeah, me and Tia will be back next week sometime. Love y'all. See y'all later. Take care. We're at it.